there, my name is Kelly Dale with Off the Beaded Path, and this is your Must Know Monday for Monday, November the 12th, 2018. So last week I showed you how to do even count 3-drop peyote stitch with my new holiday swirl bracelet. Today I'm going to show you how to do odd count 3-drop peyote stitch, and I've got two brand new designs to show you. One is one that I dedicate to my mom. My mom loves argyle, so I made a Christmas argyle pattern, and the other one is a really pretty diamond pattern. You know, I love diamond shapes, so it's a diamond pattern, of course. But basically, to make the one that I'm going to show you how to do today, you're going to need 3 colors of a size 11 delicate. I'm going to be using bronze, gold, light gold, and turquoise for my sample that I'm going to show you today. Other than that, the only other thing you're going to need is needle, thread, and a clasp. So let's go ahead and get started. So here are 2 brand new designs for you to learn how to do odd count 3-drop peyote stitch. So this is the Christmas argyle pattern, and yes, I know there's a mistake in this one, but I was too stubborn to take it back. It's right there. Don't judge me. But you can see that it's a really pretty argyle pattern in the Christmas colors. The other bracelet I have for you today is a really pretty diamond bracelet. Now, it's hard to see this actually on the video, but this bracelet uses light gold, peach, and bronze, and it's beautiful when you actually see it in person because this bracelet is super sparkly from the metallic light gold. Today I'm actually going to be using the metallic light gold, which is DB411. DB411, the bronze, which is DB22, and then I'm going to be using a turquoise. I'll have to look this up. I want to say it's like, let me see here, 729. This is 729. So I'm going to be using these 3 colors today in my No More Oops bead tray from lakesidejewelry.etsy.com. And remember, when we do odd count, we have to have a lot of threads. I'm going to start with 3 yards of thread. Now, I've deliberately left the end off of this one because I want to show you how you can taper down to put your ends on. So let's go ahead and get started. So just like I was saying, on our pattern, you can see for this peach diamond 3-drop, I'm going to be using 5 grams of this DB411, 3 grams of this DB22, and 4 grams of this 1363. The finished stitched area is 6 1/4 inches. So this pattern comes with your chart and your word graph. So just like in last week's video, you are going to start out, the number in parentheses is the number of beads that you're going to pick up. The letter right next to it is the letter which is going to correspond with your A, B, or C here on the front chart. So for this first row, I'm going to be picking up 4A, 1C, 1A, 1B, 1A, 5C, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1C, and 4A. So you can see we're picking up a lot of beads for this row. So let me go ahead here and pick these beads up as we go. So I'm going to be picking up 4A, and I've had some questions about my tray here, this little No More Oops bead tray. And I don't ever jab my bead or my needle down. I always put my needle at a parallel to my bead tray, so it doesn't really pick my beads, and it doesn't pick up the mat or anything like that. And I know that's one of the things that some people have asked about. So let's see, I've got so far 4A, 1C, 1A, 1B, 1A, 5C, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1C, and 4A. So here are my beads that I just picked up for my pattern. And you can see that they're even on both sides as far as what you pick up, so that's always a good thing. Now, you'll also notice I didn't put on any sort of stop bead. I didn't do that because this is odd count peyote. You can do that if you would like, but it is not necessary. And I'm using I'm using a brown thread today, so it'll go really good with my beads. Now, for a tail, I'm going to leave about 16 inches for my tail here. So I'm going to have a lot of tail, but remember, it's got to work up with us. Okay, so I'm going to hang on to that for now. So now, our next row is we're going to be picking these up in sets of 3. So it was 1A, 1B, 3A, 1B, 2A, 1B, 3A, and 1B. So what that means is for the first time I pick up, I'm going to pick up 1B and 2 A's because I'm picking them up in sets of 3. So the next one, it would be an A, a B, and 1A. Then 1A, 1B, and 1A. And the last set would be 2A and 1B. So again, remember, even though it tells me the number of beads I'm going to pick up, I'm only going to be picking these up in sets of 3. So to start, my first one is going to be 1B and 2A. So I'm going to zoom in here so I can show you. I'm going to hold this tail thread really tight with my fingers and then zoom in. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to skip the last 3 beads that I added. Okay, got my 3 that I just picked up here on the needle. I'm going to skip 3, and then I'm going to go through the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, I'm going to hold those beads in place, and I'm going to pull this thread. So your first little set of beads you add here are going to look like a hot mess, but it's no worries because when you go back to do your next row, we're going to fix that. So the next little set of 3 is going to be an A, a B, and an A. So A, B, A. Okay, so I got my A, B, A. I'm going to skip the next 3 beads. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go through 3. 1, 2, 3. So skip 3, go through 3. Pull these on through. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. The next one is going to be A, B, A. So A, B, A. Okay, got an extra A there. All right, so A, B, A. Again, from where I'm coming out, I'm going to skip 3. So I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go through 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, when I go through those 3, you'll see that I still have 3 left out here on the end. And there's not really anywhere that we can do anything with that. You know, it's kind of like, okay, what do you do? Well, this is our turnaround that we're going to do, our easy little turnaround. So my last little set is an A, A, B. So let me pick up my beads here. A, and B. So A, B. I'm going to catch this thread here. I'm going under this thread. Now I'm leaving this thread pulled tight around my finger because when I pull it through, I don't want these beads to go under that thread. So you can see this whole time they're on the other side of my thread there. And now I'm going to come back through all 3 of these beads. Still holding those in place there. And so now this is what I have. So your biggest thing when you start your pattern, I know that I'm going to be starting on this row, but I want to make sure that the beads that I picked up on this last row are all sticking up here. So all I have to do is just flip this last little row because I know that I picked up a B to start with on here. So just flip it like that. And now I'm ready to start my next row. So let me get it in here. Okay, so row 4 is an 2A, a C. So that means I'm going to pick 2A and a C up for my first go round. Then A, C, A. Then my last one will be a C, A, A. So I'm just going to start with 2 A's and a C. So A, C. Okay. And I'm going to come through these first 3 beads sticking up here. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put my finger on that to hold them into place, and I'm going to pull this thread. Pop those bad boys into place. Okay, now it's an ACA. So ACA, and I'm going to go right through the next 3 beads sticking up, which are actually going to be these 3 right here, because that's what I picked up in the previous row. Put those into place. And now my last one was a CAA. And I know that I picked up my brown first. I'm just going to flip that over. There we go. And I'm going to go through these 2 beads here on the end. These first rows are hardest because, especially if you're doing a pattern, you have to make sure that you're getting your pattern correct as the way you've picked them up. Okay. So this will be what I have next. So now it's on to row 5. Okay. And you can see here what I'm going to be picking up on row 5. My 2B and A, it's going to be my first one. My next set is going to be a C, an A, and 1B, and then 1B, 1A, 1C, and then my last set is going to be an A and 2B. So again, we're going to start out with 2B and 1A from where we're coming out. Okay, so it's 2B and 1A. And I'm going to work back in the other direction. So I'm going to go up through this first stack of beads here on the end that's sticking up. And now it's CA and 1B. So CAB. So CAB. And I'm going to come through my next stack of beads here. And now I'm going to do BAC. So BAC, I'm going to go through this last stack of beads sticking up. Now, when I go through this last stack, I'm back to my tail thread. That's one way that you always know where you have to do your little turnaround is because you're at your tail thread. So I'm going to hold my tail thread tight here up against my finger, and I'm going to pick up an A and 2B. So A, B, B. And I'm going to go under this little tail thread here, keeping it tight, so that when I pull it, those beads don't go under the thread. And then I'm going to come back through those 3 beads again. And then I will be ready to continue my pattern. So, as you continue through your pattern, one way I like to keep up with what row I'm doing is I use a highlighter and I highlight the row that I just finished, so that way I know exactly where I am at all times. And then if I make a mistake and I have to pull something out, I put a little check mark by my rows that I'm taking out, so I know where to start back if I happen to make a mistake. So you're going to continue with your pattern until you're all the way to the end. Now, like I said, this bracelet is going to be 6 1/4 inches actually stitched. Now, when you get to the end, I want to show you how to actually taper it down so that you can add a clasp to it. And then next Monday, I'm going to show you, if you want to, how you could actually use one of those little Miyuki slide clasps. So that will give you another option as to how to finish off some of your pieces. So let's go ahead and show you how to put the clasp on. So once you get your beautiful bracelet complete and you're ready to add your clasp, you'll notice on this first end, you can actually go ahead and just finish it because you'll have a tail thread here. But the other end, you have no thread left because you started with and moved your tail all the way up, so there's nothing to use. So you have to actually add thread. It doesn't matter where you come out on either end, but you either need to come out of this stack or this very end stack of beads here. And it's really, really simple to do that. Literally, all I'm going to do, just like in last week's video, I'm going to pick somewhere to start, like a set of 3 beads here. So I'm going to be going through 2 golds and a peach. I'm going to pull this thread through. And then I'm going to lock it into place. So I'm going to go down through the stack of 3 right next to it. And then back up through that same set of 3. Then at this point, I'm just going to stitch through my beadwork till I can come out of that stack of beads. That's where I want to go, so that's where I'm headed. And it's kind of one of those things, it doesn't matter which stacks you go through, as long as you don't see any thread. If you see thread across the beads, then you know that you've made a flub or a boo-boo and you got to go back. Okay, so you're just going to keep stitching. So now I'm actually coming out right here, and that's not where I need to be. So I'm going to come up through the row above it and then back down, so that way I can come out in the right direction. Okay, so now I am ready to start the end, because I'm coming out of these last 3 beads. The best thing to do is just to look at your pattern and figure out what's going to come next. So I know here I'm going to have a brown, a peach, and a gold, just because that's the nature of the pattern. Once you've done it, you'll know what I'm talking about and you'll be able to see it better. So I'm going to start out with gold, peach, and then brown. So I need a gold, a peach, and a brown. And I'm going to go through this next stack, just like regular old stitching. Okay, so then here I'm going to have all peaches, so 3 of those. Okay, and then here again, just like I had here, I'm going to do brown, peach, and gold. So brown, peach, and gold. And I'm going to go through this last stack. Now, you can see here, then that leaves 2 open stacks. So a stack here and a stack here. So I'm going to stitch back through my beads to come out of this 1 stack of beads. It's this last one that I added. So I'm going to stitch around through my beadwork. Alright, so now my 2 open holes here, here, and here. So I'm going to figure out what goes next. So it looks like I'm going to have a gold and 2 peaches. And like I said, after you've done this project and you get to the ends, you're going to know the pattern and you're going to know what to look for. Well, I can't pick it up. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to go through this middle stack of peach. Okay, then I already know I'm going to do the same thing just backwards. So I'm going to do 2 peach and a gold. So 2 peach and a gold. And I'm going to go through this next stack. Okay, so once I go through there and I pull those threads on through, now there's only one little open hole here, and that's what we want. So I need to come out of this stack up here. So I'm just going to stitch through some beads here and make it happen. And like I said, the good thing about this project is that the other end, you already have thread, so there's no need to worry. This is the only end where you'd actually have to start a new thread and do your ending like I'm doing. Okay, so now my last little stack of beads here, if I look at my pattern, you can see I've got 1, 2 full stacks of peaches here, and then it starts a peach, a brown, a peach. So for here, I've got to do a peach, a brown, and a peach. So then I'm going to go through that last little stack here. So that now you can see that my ends have tapered up to have a perfect center. Now I'm going to stitch through my beads so that I'm coming back out of that one stack of beads. This is one reason why I really like the odd count peyote, because you can make this go down, like taper it down to that very center stack. And I love that because to me it just makes it so easy to add a clasp or, you know, whatever you want to do on here. So I've come out of that center stack now. I'm going to use a couple of size 15 seed beads. So I'm going to pick up 3 15s. The first part of the other part of my clasp, or if you're on the other end, it's your first part, and then 3 more 15s. And then I'm going to come back through this stack to make a circle. So that you can see now my little stack of beads is completely centered over my taper down of the end of my 3-drop odd count peyote. So once you've added your clasp, it's just a matter of reinforcing the thread and getting rid of your tail threads. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, in last week's video, which would be from November the 8th, 2018, I show how to add and get rid of thread in that video. So you can go back to that video so that I don't repeat myself. But the cool thing is, the pattern I showed you today, which was my peach diamond 3-drop odd count peyote, this is completely free on my website, which is Off the Beaded Path beadstore.com. Now, the Christmas Argyle one is for sale on the website under my bracelet patterns. We do have kits available for both of these, and again, those are found on my website. But I want to show you how easy it is to find the free patterns on our website. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to my website. Here we go, Off the Beaded Path beadstore.com. And then if you look right here, I'm going to hit that little button and it brings up all these different things here. So I'm going to scroll until I find step-by-step tutorials, which is here. Okay, and you can see the little drop down there, so I'm going to click that, and then right there is a whole little section that says free. So I'm going to click on that free button right there, and then that's going to bring up all of the free patterns that I currently have on our website, including the holiday swirl bracelet from last week. So it's that easy to find them, and they're completely free. You do have to register for an account on the website, but that's just so that you can always download these patterns. any pattern that you purchase, whether it's free or you purchase it on the website, you can download them at any time. All you have to do is log into your account. Once you're logged in, it's automatically going to drop you down into the orders page. Find your order that you ordered that specific pattern on, click the order, and all your download links are always there, and as well as your tracking information. So anytime you have questions about shipping confirmations or anything like that, all that info is there for you already on the website. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned how to do odd count 3-drop peyote stitch. Be sure and come back next Monday where I'm going to show you how to use the Mayuki slide clasp to finish off your peyote or your loom or your square stitch bracelets. So I hope you have a great week. Bye!